สวัสดีค่ะขอต้อนรับทุกท่านนะคะเข้าสู่สัมมนาออนไลน์นะคะของ CAPT Fest 2021 หรือว่า CAPT Fest 2021 นะคะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะก็ต้องขอบคุณทุกท่านนะคะที่มาร่วมนะคะออนไลน์สัมมนาของเราในวันนี้ในส่วนของช่วงต่อไปนะคะจะเป็นช่วงของ Showbiz Agent 101 นั่นเองค่ะก่อนอื่นนะคะก่อนที่เราจะเริ่มเซสชั่นต่อไปนะคะอากิมีข้อมูลบางอย่างนะคะเรามาแจ้งกันนิดนึงนะคะซึ่งกิจกรรมในวันนี้นะคะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของ CAPT Fest 2021 นะคะเทศกาลประจำปีของCAPT สมาคมการค้าส่งเสริมอุตสาหกรรมศิลปวัฒนธรรมร่วมสมัยเปิดพื้นที่ปะทะสังสรรค์นะคะระหว่างผู้สนใจศิลปะในทุกมิติและนิยามนั่นเองค่ะกับสมาชิก CAPT และพันธมิตรของเรานะคะCAPT นะคะเป็นการรวมตัวของนักจัดการศิลปะนะคะที่เชื่อในพลังการขับเคลื่อนเศรษฐกิจและสังคมด้วยศิลปวัฒนธรรมร่วมสมัยในปีแรกนะคะ CAPT Fest 2021 นี้นะคะจึงชูบทบาทของศิลปะที่สามารถทำงานนะคะข้ามสายนะคะข้ามอุตสาหกรรมนะคะไปสร้างคุณค่าสร้างนวัตกรรมและก็สร้างโอกาสนะคะให้กับคนไทยนั่นเองค่ะสำหรับ CAPT นะคะ CAPT Fest 2021 นะคะสนับสนุนโดยนะคะหน่วยงานส่งเสริมเศรษฐกิจภาครัฐของหน่วยสนับสนุนนะคะโดยหน่วยงานส่งเสริมเศรษฐกิจภาครัฐ2หน่วยงานนะคะที่ช่วยให้เราได้เปิดพื้นที่ใหม่นะคะแก่วงการศิลปวัฒนธรรมร่วมสมัยของประเทศไทยนะคะ2หน่วยงานที่ว่านั้นนะคะก็ได้แก่นะคะสำนักงานส่งเสริมเศรษฐกิจสร้างสรรค์นะคะองค์การมหาชนหรือ CEA นะคะและก็สำนักงานส่งเสริมการจัดประชุมและนิทรรศการเป็นองค์การมหาชนนะคะหรือว่า TCEP นั่นเองค่ะทุกท่านนะคะสามารถติดตามกิจกรรมของ CAPT และ CAPT Fest 2021 ได้ที่ www.captthailand.com นะคะ CAPT แล้วก็ THAILAND.com นะคะแล้วก็ได้ที่ Facebook แล้วก็ Instagram นะคะก็สะกดเหมือนกันนะคะ CAPT THAILAND นั่นเองค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะในส่วนของสัมมนาเราจะมีการเสวนามีการพูดคุยกันนะคะแต่ทีนี้เนี่ยเพื่อให้เราพัฒนานะคะอีเวนต์ของเราแบบนี้ให้ดีขึ้นเราจึงอยากจะขอความร่วมมือแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านนะคะที่ร่วมสัมมนาในวันนี้รบกวนนะคะกรอกแบบสอบถามด้วยนะคะทางแคปของเรานะคะต้องการที่จะพัฒนานะคะอีเวนต์แบบนี้เพื่อที่จะสนับสนุนนะคะให้เราสามารถซัพพอร์ตนะคะวงการศิลปวัฒนธรรมร่วมสมัยได้มากยิ่งขึ้นนะคะเราจึงอยากให้ทุกท่านนะคะมีส่วนร่วมในการพัฒนาไปกับเราด้วยฟีดแบ็กนะคะง่ายๆด้วยการตอบแบบสอบถามนะคะซึ่งทางเราก็มี QR code นะคะให้ท่านสามารถสแกนแล้วก็ตอบนะคะจะตอบตอนนี้ก็ได้แต่ถ้าจะให้ดีก็ฟังสัมมนาจบนะคะแล้วก็ค่อยตอบก็ได้ค่ะแต่จะสกรีนแคปเจอร์หน้าจอนี้ไว้ก่อนก็ได้นะคะเพื่อที่จะได้สะดวกต่อการตอบแบบสอบถามหลังจากเซสชันนี้จบลงนะคะทุกคำตอบของท่านนะคะมีค่ากับการพัฒนานะคะของเราเสมอค่ะก็ยังไงก็เดี๋ยวอากิจะเตือนอีกทีนะคะยังไงก็รบกวนนะคะขอความร่วมมือทุกท่านด้วยค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะเอาละค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะกิจกรรมของเรานะคะจะเป็นในส่วนของ Showbiz Agent 101 นะคะซึ่งช่วงนี้เนี่ยเราได้รับแขกรับเชิญจากหลายๆส่วนนะคะแล้วก็หลายๆประเทศเลยจึงขออนุญาตดำเนินรายการส่วนนี้เป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะคะส่วนท่านใดที่ต้องการจะฟังนะคะคำแปลเป็นภาษาไทยนะคะเราจะมีตัวแปลให้นะคะแต่ทีนี้เนี่ยอันนี้ขอแจ้งนิดนึงนะคะมันจะมีปุ่ม translate แต่ว่ามันจะเขียนคำว่าโปรตุเกสนะคะแต่ว่ากดเข้าไปแล้วไม่ต้องห่วงค่ะเป็นภาษาไทยแน่นอนเลยนะคะแล้วก็เนื่องจากเซสชันนี้เนี่ยเป็นไลฟ์ออกทาง Facebook แล้วก็ไลฟ์สตรีมด้วยนะคะเพื่อมีใครที่ไม่ทราบนะคะว่าเรามีการแปลนะคะจึงอยากจะบอกว่าถ้าเกิดใครที่อยากฟังตรงนี้เป็นภาษาไทยอยากฟังคำแปลนะคะสามารถเข้าลิงก์เว็บบินาร์นะคะเพื่อใช้กดฟังก์ชันการแปลได้นะคะมีล่ามคอยแปลให้อยู่นะคะซึ่งลิงก์ของเว็บบินาร์เนี้ยก็จะแปะไว้ในส่วนของ comment section นะคะใน Facebook และก็ Live Storm นะคะก็ยังไงก็สามารถกดเข้ามาได้นะคะมาฟังในเวบินาร์ก็ได้ค่ะเพื่อความสะดวกนั่นเองนะคะแต่ถ้าเกิดท่านใดสะดวกนะคะที่จะฟัง เป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะคะก็สามารถชมได้จาก Facebook แล้วก็ Live Stream ตรงเลยนั่นเองค่ะเอาละค่ะแล้วนั่นก็เป็นการเปิดนะคะเซสชันของเรานะคะ Showbiz Agent นะคะ101นั่นเองค่ะตอนนี้ก็ได้เวลาอันสมควรแล้วนะคะเดี๋ยวอาเกขออนุญาตนะคะเปิดเซสชันนี้เลยละกันค่ะเอาละค่ะต้องขอกล่าวคำว่าสวัสดีเป็นอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะเซสชัน Showbiz Agent 101นะคะอากิยามากุจินะคะรับหน้าที่เป็นพิธีกรนะคะสำหรับอากิเองก็เป็น Content Creator เป็นพิธีกร2ภาษา3ภาษานะคะแล้วก็เป็น Social Media Marketer แล้วก็ทำหลายๆอย่างที่เกี่ยวกับญี่ปุ่นนะคะใครเรียน TikTok ก็น่าจะคุ้นหน้าคุ้นตากันสำหรับวันนี้ก็ขอมาทำหน้าที่เป็นพิธีกรนะคะในส่วนของ Showbiz Agent 101นั่นเองค่ะเอาละค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะเรามีแขกรับเชิญถึง4ท่านเลยนะคะอากิขออนุญาตแนะนำนะคะแต่ละท่านแต่จากตรงนี้อากิขอ swap เป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะคะ Okay, first of all, I would like to welcome everyone to the Showbiz Agent 101 session, which is a part of CAPT Fest 2021 today. My name is Aki and I will be your host, your MC. I'm Aki, I'm a content creator, MC, bilingual MC, and I am also a social media marketer and I do a lot of stuff involving Japan. But if you're on TikTok, maybe you saw some video of mine. But anyways, nice to meet you all. First of all, today we have 4 guests with us on this session. I would like to introduce our guests first. Okay, let me introduce first of all Mr. Rob Van Bennekom, platform artist agency booking agent. He takes care of the full agenda of artists on both national and international levels. This includes booking and scheduling the artists' tours and performances at national and international level as well. So he is right here with us. Hi, Rob.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, up next from Asia, we have Gary Low, Chief Executive Officer from Red Fusion Asia. Seasoned CEO with a comprehensive background in managing highly effective events and festival campaigns. He also supports consulting, planning, execution, artist management, marketing, PR, branding, advertising. He's a one-stop service place if you need advice. Okay, hi Gary.
Hi everyone. Hi Aki.
Hi. Up next, we have John Van Noten, BIP Records, Belgium Chief Executive Officer. John has been active in the music industry since 1998 and with more than 3,000 releases. BIP Records is one of the largest dance labels in the Benelux. For the future, BIP Records want to expand further into Asia market and is also looking for Asian talent and Asian partners to further expand the network. And last but not the least, Derek Ong. Or DJ Tech One. Okay, Pioneer DJ Asia's head instructor. He is also one who has performed and toured extensively across Asia and Europe in countries like France, Australia, China, Nepal, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and many more. He is the head DJ instructor at Pioneer DJ Asia and also responsible to test out Pioneer's latest gears and also the head co-curriculum developer for Mix Us Happy DJ program across Asia as well. Hi everyone, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Hi all. So we're having a 90-minute session right here. So I hope everyone have stuff to share. Okay, let's begin our session with the first question. First of all, as we know, the world is going really crazy and we are not in our usual situation. And show business, music business, and many other business is being disrupted, disturbed, or facing a lot of, I would say, challenges. And today, if we can talk about some of the challenges or some of the questions a lot of people in the industry probably have in mind, but not really sure who to talk to or where to discuss, I think this is like probably one of the right place to talk about it today. So let's start with our first question. Despite COVID and pandemic going on, I want to ask you about artist agency, because I think depending on parts of the world, there are different point of view, perspective, and beliefs, or even cultural side of that country about artist agency. So what are the roles and the importance of an artist agency? Like, this is very basic, but I believe like unless you're part of the industry, maybe no one have properly like spelled it all out. We just like work each day and just like go by the flow. But I think this is a good opportunity to just clear it out, like, yeah, roles and importance of an artist agency. Rob, you want to start?
Yeah, it's fine for me. Thanks for the introduction. I'm working from Platform Agency, agency based in Belgium. Yeah, we have a lot of artists worldwide, but mainly the artists from our company are based in Belgium and the Netherlands. Yeah, the most important role of an agency is to following up the artist's administrative task for them. And we're doing a lot of acquisition worldwide to find new bookings for our artists. And we are doing this in existing markets, but also in new markets. Later on, Gary and I will tell you something more about how to find the new markets. Yeah, to be honest, for an artist, an agency is going to be important after an artist got a lot of requests. A lot of DJs who are starting with DJing things, they will get a lot of bookings after they signed with an agency. But more important is to become famous. You first have to think about how can I become a bigger artist. That's, yeah, in my opinion, yeah, the most important part of being a bigger artist, get signed by an agency.
So agency is literally someone who connects the artist to the right connection or the right act or the right gigs. Exactly. And the right deal, right? And then also the importance. Also, I think agency is like probably one of the important factor that helps the artist grow faster and efficiently as well.
Yeah, but together with the whole team, with the artist agency, with a tour manager, with the artist management, yeah.
Awesome. So that was Rob's explanation of role and importance of artist agency. Now let's move back to Asia right now. What about role and importance of agency for Asia? Is it the same or is it a little bit different, Gary?
Well, for Asia, I think the way the artist agency here works is slightly a little bit different than in Europe or in the US. In Asia here, most of the artists, on the other hand, believes the opposite. They don't really believe in agency, as in they don't really see the value of an agency, which is why it's you find very little agencies here in Asia that actually has a full artist roster or artist list that they signed up with. You know, those artists that actually made the cut to the big scene, they are basically tied up with international agencies because they believe international agencies are able to actually help them market towards the countries that they are not able to go to. But on the other hand, I have been in this industry for the last 16 years. And I do understand that in Asia, we have this small little mentality where we don't believe in agency because we think that the agency is a ripoff. On a side note, agencies like mine, Red Fusion Asia, we have been doing a lot of artist development in this area where we try to bring Asian artists across the globe to places like Europe and all those where we have the networks of friends that could actually, people like Rob that we work with, that could actually, help us push in Asian talents into the European market. So this is something that would probably take a little bit of time in terms of trust for the Asian artists to actually trust a local regional Asian agency to bring them across to the bigger picture. On the other hand, Red Fusion Asia is probably known to some people here or within the community of DJs in Asia as in one agency that actually does a lot of DJs booking across Asia since 2014 actively. So we have been working with countries like China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Myanmar, Singapore, Indonesia, specifically to actually push a lot of Asian DJs across, aside from Malaysia. And if you're asking, and if we are looking at the importance of an artist agency, probably it will be the same as what Rob has mentioned. Our role is more of trying to build the artist portfolio to our partners, which is clubs, music festivals, and all those. So an artist that actually works or signs up with an agency like us, then we would be able to actually tell our clientele, which is the music festivals or the clubs, and say, look, these are the range of DJs or range of artists that we actually specifically work with. And it would be a better push from that perspective rather than an artist that goes on a freelance. If we are looking at the trend of before COVID, how artists in Asia actually get their gigs in clubs or music festival for the matter, I believe a lot of these are done in a sense that they go and upsell themselves. They either know the artists, they either know the music festival owners or the club people that would actually give them a show or give them a gig or so, you see. But aside from that one, of course, clubs have already started moving towards believing more in terms of agency as opposed to freelancers, because of the quality of performances that the club demands nowadays are very, very different from 5-6 years ago. 5-6 years ago to the clubs here in Asia, it's literally like, if you come cheap, I'll just take you. I don't take expensive Asian artists, but I'm willing to pay for expensive European artists, you see. So that mentality has kind of changed since 2019 or 2018, since 2018, when everything has started to be commercialized, because top 100 DJs before 2018 is kind of like it's pretty hard to get them in Asia. You need to actually work through an agency, overseas agency, and all those in order to get them. And it's not easy. It's not easy to work with agencies that you have not worked with before, because agencies like Rob and all those, I believe they have their own fixed clientele that they trust to work with. So usually they would give the first priority of their artists to this clientele that they have first, rather than those who just literally come and knock the door and say, hey, I need an artist. So there are different ways in terms of looking of how the agency plays a role. And I believe Asian agency at the moment I'm not sure if I can say any one of them around, but then probably Red Fusion Asia would be the only one at the moment that I can think of that we work with festivals, music festivals, and all those since 2014. Okay.
Thank you, Gary. So I think one common role and importance is to whether Asia or any part of the world or Europe is connection. You guys built this connection over years and years, and trust and beliefs, not only with the artist, but with the festival organizer, with the company, with clubs, and with all the events. And they trust your decision. So when they have an event, they come to you and like, hey, we're having a festival. We need like how many DJs, what style and all that. And then like, you guys already have a portfolio of artists within. So, you can recommend the best artist that fits your clients, the festivals, like art direction, style, and all that. So I guess if a freelancer artist wants to do stuff like this on their own, it's probably going to be a hassle for them. Like they probably need to build connection and start things by themselves. Well, of course, unless they already have a connection, but if they were like, they have talent, but they have no connection, it's probably really hard for them, right? Yeah, so, okay, this is from the agency perspective. What about for people who work with the artists, like record label John, he's representing the label. So from a label's perspective, what's the difference between like working with a good agency versus working with like directly with the artist, like, as if like working with a freelance? Is there a difference?
It's a big difference, We work with both of them. We work with freelance artists and we also work with agencies. When agencies are coming with artists, they're mostly established. So they have a fan base, they have a crowd that's following him or them. And the freelance artist doesn't have anything. So we need to start from scratch. We need first of all, the tracks they deliver needs to be good, and from there we can start. When the track isn't good at all, then we cannot start at all. We need to have something to start with. So then we need to have radio airplay, TV, we need to have music videos, everything. So as soon as an artist is established, we mostly go to an agency like, hey, we have an artist that's there. They have a fan base now. They are on radio, TV, and then we work together with agencies. So that's the other way around. Or the agencies come with us with an established artist, like, hey, we have this artist. He's doing, he's touring there and there and there. He has so many followers. How can we can work together to get him or her music? So we connect them with musicians and composers, producers, and blah blah blah. So then they can start from there too, unless they're all already producing music, of course. So
so I guess like when we talk about like the industry, like if you're new, let's say like you are a DJ, very popular on the social media and all that, sure, you have a following and then like you have fans, but when it comes to working, meaning like to be appearing in it can be a marketing campaign, a PR, a promotion, or a gig, there is so much process in between just like an artist showing up and play, like, and I guess agency who comes in between that takes care of all that and makes things easier. And as an event organizer or as a label, it's probably easier for you to work with the artist too, with like agency taking care of that. But of course, I'm pretty sure some of the artists already like are experienced and then they know what to do and all that. But I guess
agencies are, for me, an expansion of the team. They can take some work that we normally also do, but they mostly have a bigger network than we do. So I think artist-wise, it's more interesting to work with agencies and labels together. So you cannot work only with a label, then I think nothing will happen. You need to have both of them. You need to have managers and agencies that taking care of you too as an artist, my opinion.
No, I agree. There's a lot more pieces than just like showing up and play. And then like, I think like agency like fills up all these like processes and actually make things go smoothly. But today we have an artist with us too. So we're gonna, you know, hear some thoughts from the artist side as well. Well, of course, Derek is like, you know, artist and also like a head instructor. So what do you think?
Well, I guess it's the truth. Like, you know, like when I first started out, like in a transition, like from like an MC to a DJ, like in 2012, like I was a struggling artist, like a DJ producer. Like I would have to spend more time and less sleep. I mean, I would have to go and network, find people, find clubs, find the owners, find the booking agents, as in the bookers for the club, you know, to play. And also it was even like working with Pioneer, like there'll only be a certain amount of festivals that we could play at, only if like Pioneer was working there, you know. If it wasn't, then the limitations are such. But after a while, there was a transition, and I mean, now I'm already with RFA, with Red Fusion Asia. And it was actually a funny thing, like when John was talking about it, then like, yeah, I met John before my manager talked to him about it. And this was so funny because like it was 2017, I met John at a conference here in Singapore, and I was like, yeah, I want to release songs. And okay, so 2018, Gary went to Ibiza, and John was like, yeah, I know some guys in Singapore, and like they both put out the same photo. So I guess the networking between agencies are bigger than one person, because these agencies have tons of acts. They must have tons of clients, you know? Whereas like in me, I would have to sharpen my craft, make the best track, sleep for 1 hour, wake up, go to the club, network, find the people, you know? It's, you know, with an agency, yeah, of course the agency takes a cut. I understand, because like they do work for you, like all the administrative work, like Rob said, you know? So like the artist gets to focus on their craft. So I believe this, like, as an artist, like, you know, it's really awesome to have a manager and an agency behind you, you know, so you can
So before you work with agency, you were literally doing all the agency work, like building
media posts, doing my own Photoshop, trying to do artwork, listening to music, knocking on all the DJs' doors, like, hey, what do you guys think about my track? What do you guys think about my track? Can it be released, you know? And like, because of different time zones, you know, like you have like different people you look up to. Like I realized only like so little sleep.
Wow, the word "so little sleep" is now gonna be embedded in my head. It's like, yeah, you either have to work probably like, okay, not 24/7, but a lot, instead of spending most of the time creating, you know, the good stuff. But now you have to split those hours into doing like, you know, finding gigs, connecting with people, make friends, and you probably need to like sometimes just show up just to, hey, how are you doing? And you know, create connection and like hoping that they would like you and all that.
Yeah. So like what like Gary used to tell me, you know, like when I was first starting out, like different hats at different times, you know, like it's a motto like I live by right now, you know, like spreading my family time and like my music work, you know. So yeah, with the agency, I'm very blessed, you know, like thankful, like, you know, I get to do my stuff. I just send it to him. And it's like, let's just go to the label. Yes, no, okay, back to the drawing board, you know, rather than spending multiple hours finding the right answer.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, after I've like listened to all the answer, one thing like I found in common was like they open new market, they open up new connection, they link you to a new connection, whether it's locally or internationally. So that actually connects to my next question, is like the importance of agency in terms of opening up new market. Okay, this time I'm gonna let Gary go first.
Well, I think for us here in Asia, there is always a belief in this phrase that says it's not what you know, it's basically who you know. So adding on earlier to what Derek, Rob, John is talking about, I think we can see there is a connection here that says that we are in this industry, though we are from we are thousands of miles apart, or we're from different continents of the world. Somehow we are all connected under this one umbrella called entertainment. You see, so in terms of shortlisting for going into new markets and all those, these are a lot of things that agencies like us, we go and we scout, we hunt, we kind of take note of what's happening within the region or outside of the region. So we keep track through the friends that we made in the business. We keep track with we keep ourselves abreast on what's happening. I update my partners, John, Rob, of what's happening in Asia, what's new, what's not gonna happen in the next 6 to 8 months and all those. So by doing these updates, we tend to get kind of first-hand news in terms of the markets that we're gonna go to, and like what Rob mentioned earlier, there is something that we're going to share in terms of where new market is concerned. If we are actually following where the world is heading right now within this COVID period, we do realize that there is a couple of countries that is only slowly opening up back to the entertainment industry scene, but it's not in a very big way. It's not in a big way. So people are still proceeding with caution, very cautious in terms of big gatherings and all those, which means the entertainment scene is going to change tremendously after COVID as well. Given the thing is, people wouldn't want to go all out and party and stand next to one another now, though they are dying to party. So in that sense, looking for new market, one of the few countries that I'm actually looking at personally is a country like China. Given the fact that in Asia at the moment, you look at most of the countries here in Asia, pretty much we are in lockdown. Nothing much is actually moving, not even in Thailand, though Thailand is opening up. But then you can, if you scout through the news, entertainment news, most clubs are closed, everywhere is closed, Even India is going back to normal, but then there is no indication that any festivals is happening, not for this year, you see. So China, as we know, is the only country right now in Asia that I know the life is going on within the country itself at a normal rate. Clubs are still operating. Of course, they don't have big, huge music festivals at the moment, but then there are things that is continuing moving. The continuation of business is very important. So in countries like Taiwan, in countries like China, they have actually started doing they have started going back to live, normal live basis since last October, if I'm not mistaken. Taiwan did their first Ultra Music Festival with 25,000 people sometime in November last year. The only country in Asia that actually does Ultra Music Festival.
Wow,
And I believe, yes, and I believe there is a couple of international artists as well. Rob is aware. We have some international artists that actually went to Taiwan. Then after that, they did a drop over in
The figures.
they did a drop over in Thailand. I believe last year, and Thailand also had two major festivals that took place. So before they went back into lockdown. So if we look at the trend where where Asia is heading, I can only speak for Asia right now because I'm not familiar. I'm not I'll let Rob speak about Europe. Where Asia is concerned, we can only see there is only one country at the moment, or two, Taiwan, that is actually going back into the entertainment, that is opening up back for entertainment to go into. See?
Totally agree. Okay, so that's the situation in terms of opening up new market in Asia. How's Europe, Rob?
Talk about opening new markets. For us in Europe, trust is really important. Gary already spoke about this. When the feeling is good between us and a local partner from, for example, Thailand, we can start working together for festivals, for clubs. And after we did several shows, and the shows were good, everything was good about it, and we can start working together more frequently.
Yep, I believe in terms of new market as well, where we are going into, most countries in Asia will probably not be looking at live in the entertainment segment as it is, not probably till the end of 2022.
Yeah. For now, it's really hard for us to go to Asia. Just because we have a lot of restrictions.
Yep.
If we go to Asia, we have to go in a quarantine period.
Not to mention, the time spent during quarantine and all those, So if, like, let's say you come for a day or two festival, 2 days festival, you would have to come like 3-4 weeks ahead of time.
3 weeks. Yeah.
So
and to be honest, from our side, it's not profitable.
But aren't they going to change the rules in Asia? Like vaccinated people don't need to be anymore in quarantine when they arrive, or they're gonna stick with the rules and the strict protocols they have right now? You know something about that?
Not all countries, John. Not all countries. I believe we have seen in the news, Thailand will be the first one to open up from October 15 onwards to fully vaxxed tourists. But then, having said that, I don't think there is going to be, let's just put it this way. Logically speaking, no one will actually travel all the way to Thailand just for a music festival, not at this point of time. They will go to Thailand for some shopping, They will probably go to the beach for a short holiday. Yes, perhaps. But definitely, I doubt the world is going to fly where entertainment is concerned. So, of course, people like us, when we bring an artist, we have also got to consider the artist's downtime if quarantine is required, And like I said, the world will not function the way it is before after COVID, because somehow or other you will still need some form of a quarantine, or there is going to be some protocols that's going to put in place. And at the moment, a lot of countries in Asia are still not willing to open up in that one sense. 14 days is still a normal mandatory. I just heard the news from China that if you go to China now, there is a 41 days quarantine.
41,
right?
40.
Wait for 41 days. Yes.
Why 41?
I have no idea.
We need that extra 1 day just to make sure.
Okay.
Now, what I do know is a couple of months back, the mandatory quarantine was basically 21 days, 14 days in a hotel, 7 days in your home in China. Okay.
Wow.
And then you are not allowed to go out of the city where you are at for at least 45 days. You can only leave the city after 45 days. And if you're going to get on a domestic flight in China, you need to be there for at least 60 days before you can get into a plane.
Wow.
Domestically. So, yes, while they are putting on a lot of these restrictions that sound pretty ridiculous, the way that they are, but you look at the country as in where it is, they are able to live life normally because of this kind of quarantine, because this kind of SOP, you see. Where else countries like where I am, it's like, the government is kind of falling into, okay, when I do this, someone complains, I got no choice, I got to follow what they say. And this is what is putting us into an infinite loop of, lockdowns. You get back down for a week, you get locked back down again for 3 weeks, So until we can find a way where even at fully vaxxed, there is no guarantee that COVID will not be around. It will still be around.
That is true. That is true. I guess we
Yeah,
just have to
Gary,
change. Yeah.
here in Europe, we can already travel without restrictions. Our guys are, our guys are already doing festivals in
West,
Spain,
yeah.
in Germany, in Czech Republic, Austria. So here, it's turning back to normal.
Yeah, but
Which
maybe
a good
the people we have more vaccinated people over here in Europe than in Asia. I don't know. In Belgium, we have now a rate
Yeah.
of 90% vaccinated people.
Yeah, here 75, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Malaysia is at 80 right now. We are at
80.
80.
Singapore's at 83.
Yes.
Singapore's at 83. as
I think
well.
Singapore is higher. Singapore is a small island only.
Wow. Just by listening to this conversation, like it proves that everyone's connected, like the situation and all that. So in terms of opening up new market, it's like, if you know one of these four, you'd be able to connect to the rest. It's like, it's so obvious right now. It's like, it's all connected. Right? As an artist, Derek, you knew the right people. So you're connected to the...
I knew John. And I knew Gary. Then they went to they met each other. Then there was like, John, what did you say to Gary? It was over dinner, right? Or was it something like that? I remember because Gary straight away messaged me. He was like, "Hey,
Guys,
why
that's
you?"
just a reminder. There's other people listening. Okay, make sure whatever.
Make sure it's nothing bad.
Remind you
Make it
guys.
sound
Okay?
good.
Well, I met John at International Music Summit, which was in Ibiza back in 2019.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that, yeah.
Yeah. We had a good time, and then we were talking about some Asian market because I was doing my rounds in Europe back in 2019 to actually open up more routes for Asian artists, to bring Asian artists across to Europe, to play in some music festivals in Europe as well, because Europe is not really big in the clubbing scene as opposed to Asia. Asia is all into the clubbing scene. Music festivals happens like a couple of months in a year, that's all, you see. So Europe during summer, it's all about festivals everywhere you go in Europe. So that was the initial intention of why I go to Europe back in 2019.
I think it was the year before, Gary.
2018?
Yeah. Time
I
is
totally
traveling
understand. With the past 2 years was like, we don't really remember things anymore. Like it was just like blurry.
We're locked up too long in the house from COVID.
I know.
I can't even remember the date anymore.
I've totally forgotten that today's Friday, and it's like, what? Today's already Friday? Oh my God, like so fast. Yeah, but I would like everyone who's listening to this session, this is how business happens. It's talking, sharing, and then coming up with ideas and all that. So this is like a great example to show that actually to know the right people, the right connection. It's just like, it just starts from knowing the right person. And I'm not saying you have to go show up in every single party and make friends with everyone. But if you know the right person, this is how it happens. And I'm pretty sure right now on an online session, it's because we don't see the audience. Everyone's relaxed. Everyone's talking as if this is like a personal Zoom chat. So this is as raw as it can be, audiences, everyone. So yes, this is the importance of agency. This is how they talk about you. This is how they bring up about you. And this is how labels and artists exchange ideas and all that. This is as raw as it can be. So everyone in this session, you're so lucky. So, okay, about opening up the market, as we know the situation, I have COVID related question, especially for this group later. But before we go to that, I've already mentioned this is how the connection goes. This is how you guys talk, exchange ideas, brainstorming and coming up with ideas and all that. Roles and responsibility of artists, record labels, and agency in order to create a team. to work together. I would not call it as far as like a system, but then like I'm pretty sure there's a system happening in this connection. What is it that create this effective connection, effective team right here? I'm gonna move from John. Yes, I'm gonna let you talk about it first.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, you need to find the right people. You know, you can talk with people, and after 5 minutes, you know, okay, I can work with this guy, or I can't work with this guy or girl. It's easy like that. So
5 minutes. We said 5 minutes.
Five, yeah. In 5 minutes, we know everything about each other. Especially when we meet each other internationally, you only have limited time. You see so many people in one day, and after that day, you decide which people you want to work with, or which people you don't want to work with. In 5 minutes, just like that. Yeah.
5 minutes, faster than swabbing your nose. Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Okay, got it. So, okay. How about Derek? Do you need 5 minutes, or you need longer than that? Well,
yes,
yeah.
Just like you know, whoever you're talking to, you know, is as enthusiastic as you are, you know, and you can feel like a vibe. I feel like, you know, there is a possibility to work. Then we can see from there. But if like you go and talk to somebody like, hey, I'm a DJ, I've got tracks. Then you're like, oh yeah, cool. I'm like, nah, sorry, I wasted everybody, you know. But like, yeah, like even with John and like Gary, like I also based this example because like, you know, like when I met John the first time, I was busy setting up and making sure the Pioneer booth was sorted proper at the conference, and I had to go and make sure all the speakers and all that. The next year, I was like telling Gary over WhatsApp, I was like, yo, you think I have time with John? Like, and then he goes, let me go and talk to John. You know, so I'm like, whoa, okay, this is cool. You know, I have 5 minutes. That's all that matters. So like, I guess like the artist becomes the front, but behind that, it's like Transformers or like Voltron, where you have the agency, you have the label, you have the manager. Everybody makes that whole thing full, you know. So everybody gets their part to play. Like, if I don't do my music, and manager goes like, you got no new songs, we can't get you any shows. You got no new releases, we can't do anything about you. There's no collaterals, there's no videos, there's no marketing. So it's a whole circle, you know, I feel. And with them, like, I'm very, very grateful and thankful.
So I guess each part, like, you know, they know their role, they know the responsibility, and they know what they have to do. And when people who are clear in their roles come together, it just probably fits in perfectly, I suppose.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
We're moving up. okay. How about Rob?
yeah. I mean, like, like if I don't get songs, like, you know, I can't expect the labels to just get everything sorted, like a new song out. You know, I can't expect my manager to show.
It's also good when those people can connect with each other. For example, the artist manager with the agency, and the agency with the music manager. So everyone is involved in the whole project. For example, we are doing a lot of meetings with the whole artist team together, so that we all are aware of what's going on around our DJs.
Yep, that's true. I think the responsibility of an agency is more of trying to connect with the artist on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis to find out what's happening, to understand what is it that they are looking at. Because I believe most artist agencies would be talking to the artist like a pre-planned year. You know, what you plan to do this year, how you intend to move forward this year, how you want to grow this year, you know. And then from an agency perspective is basically trying to find the ways to actually help the artists get to where they want to go, you know, providing them with tools, with tools of promotions and marketing, including helping them to set up, like if they produce music, including helping them to set up collaborations or even combination with other artists alike or bigger, to kind of move them up the ladder in terms of where they are going, you see. So from an agency perspective, it's not so much as in the agency is here to boss them around, but rather the agency is there to actually help them filter what they want and not what they need, you see. So from an artist perspective, of course, they would definitely know clubs, they would definitely know a lot of people on their own as well, and I believe from an agency perspective, it's more of should my artist go and do this, or should my artist go and do that, whether it's more productive for him on the other end rather than doing this. That's something that a responsible agency would have got to look into, you see. So that's why the importance of an agency in terms of playing a role in the artist's career. Of course, in Asia, we always look at all the big artists as, wow, they are so successful. Why they are so successful, why they can always go for music festivals, why they are always playing in big clubs and all those. I would say it's a taboo that a lot of Asians always think that, oh, I'm not big enough. I'm not good enough. But of course, out of so many, we do know there is a handful of them that actually made it to the big scenes, you see. But it's not an easy task, definitely. Working with the right agency, that's the first thing that they need to start off with, rather than doing freelancing. Freelance, of course, it's not bad in Asia. I wouldn't say it's bad. You do get your freedom of moving around, but then of course there is a ceiling, or there is a ceiling where you're gonna say you're gonna be, and it's just gonna be at that level. You can't move on further.
There's a limit that the artist can grow, right? And agency probably like expand that limit to a little bit.
Exactly.
Wider,
and from an agency perspective, assuming, let's say, both me and Rob are an agency, and you have a freelance artist that actually approached the both of us and saying, oh, I want to play in one of your festivals. Of course, from an agency standpoint, my first priority is always given to the artist that is in my agency rather than a freelance that comes, you see. So that is also one vital note, that why you would need an agency, especially in the 21st century. The old days method still works, but there is a limit to it.
Right.
Yeah. Like Gary opened up China for me. Like it was just over a talk. Because even though I'm like half Chinese, I can't speak Chinese. It's like the daily manager talks, like it was like, Gary, like it would be cool if we go to China. He starts laughing. It's like, but you can't even speak Chinese. I'm like, yeah, that's the problem.
Did you say Billy?
No, I said I couldn't even speak Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a hillbilly Chinese, I guess.
You said hillbilly. Okay. No. When you mentioned Billy, I was like, oh wow.
Gary's agency, like he opened it up for me and like started playing in China. So something that I wouldn't have been able to achieve myself because I can't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess agency will find the right connection, the right people to help support you to, get connected to the right audience and all that, instead of you doing all the marketing and like trying to find contact. Like, we don't have yellow pages right now, but just to make you, see the picture, right? You have to call everyone like, are you interested? And all that. But,
also one note, Aki, one note I like to add in, the importance of an agency for artists that tours via agency. They will realize that they are much more taken care of in terms of hospitality and all those kind of stuff, because the agency actually makes sure that all these are taken care of, you see.
And you will have your technical rider, hospitality rider, and everything prepared and all that.
Yeah, we are.
John said it best.
No, there are a lot of cowboys in the business, and I think agencies, they know all the cowboys and they know what people that are reliable on to work with. And I think that's the most plus of an agency as a freelance artist, to work with an agency, that you get your money at the end.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Exactly. You'll get the right chocolate in your dressing room as well. That's from my personal experience. We put the wrong chocolate in the room. Okay. But with agency, you won't have that problem.
Yeah,
No,
and also
I heard so many artists in the past, independent artists, like, hey, I did a gig and I never get my money paid. So,
Oh, important.
Yes.
yeah. And
Money talk.
then as an independent artist, you can go to the organization and you can say, hey, I need my money. You can fight with them. And then as an artist, you're also always going to be in a bad situation, like,
I know.
I'm going to argue
Totally
with him or
understand.
not. But if you are signed with an agency, the agent will be the good
take
cop, bad
care.
cop, and then you're still,
Yes.
at the end, you're the good cop and the agent is like the one that's hunting your money.
that's
I
not
totally understand. Rob's
Yeah.
like, I do that.
Enforcers.
Trust me, you still find clubs that says, I pay you half. You get here, you finish your show, I'll pay you the other half.
Yeah.
And what happens is,
exactly.
after you finish your show, then they just come up and say, I'm sorry, you suck. You literally chase some of my clients away, so I'm not going to pay you anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that's bad.
Even in Europe, they're doing
These
that.
cowboys around, especially
Really? In Europe, it still
they have a
happens?
lot of these cowboys around.
Wow. Rob was just saying like it happens in Europe too. I mean, like, wow, I thought it's an Asian thing. Apparently not.
No.
Everywhere.
I was recently talking to a guy from the Czech Republic, and he was asking the same. Can we do 50% before the show and 50 after?
Oh,
Not
see. Like, imagine you're a DJ and then you're rocking the stage at night with all these colorful lights and smoke and all that, and then next day you have to call them about the payment. That would be like,
And the guy doesn't pick up because he's too drunk.
I know, like
Yeah.
that would be such a hassle, like, so all the artists who are in this session, find you a great agency and you will not have to have your headaches. Wow.
And also what Gary just mentioned about all the advancing. As agency, we are booking the flights, hotels. We're checking the hospitality rider, the technical rider. So
Oh yeah, all the detail stuff that if you miss or you make mistake, okay, you're not gonna die, but then it's gonna give you like a tremendous headaches, and then you have all this taken care by agency, and then like, the artist can just focus on like, okay, what's my playlist tonight? Okay, I'm gonna swap that
Exactly.
around and all
Yeah.
that.
Very true.
Yeah. Yes. Oh no, but yeah.
even if an artist misses his flight, we are checking out new flights and we are booking the new flight. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like all the moving parts like that goes behind the scene, like, the artist can just focus on the show and like the rest agency will take care, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Literally as an artist, you should not be worrying about all this. You see? You have better things to do than to
You
be
have to
worried
worry about your set.
flight is going to be on time, whether I arrive at the airport, someone's going to pick me up, or
So true.
which hotel am I going to be staying at, which motel, or am I going to be given food when I'm there? These are kind of questions that, and as an artist, you are not supposed to be thinking. Otherwise you don't call yourself an artist.
Totally.
You call yourself a what do you call? An artist handler. that's supposed to be a job of an handler. You see?
That is true.
Yeah,
That is
that is
so
true.
true. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Now that we see how important agency, plays a role in the whole entire system, connecting artists with the labels, with the organizer, with clubs, and all the way to like detailed transportation and hospitality and all that. Okay, all I hope is everything comes back to normal, or as normal as possible. So that leads me to the next question, or what do you think the trends or the changes or something that would, like, I would not say revolutionize, but something, I'm pretty sure a lot of things has changed and something will change more, especially after COVID. I would like to know, like, what do you think is the trend of the showbiz that's going to become after COVID? I don't know how long COVID's going to be, but then, like, yeah, what do you think the trend's going to be? So this time we're going to switch things around, and then I'm going to ask Derek first.
And the question is, and the answer is, no, just kidding. Well, the trends, I mean, it's the new normal, you know. I believe like live streaming will still be there, but it's not going to be there as much, because like once everything is back to normal, like what Rob said, yeah, normal. Like I would believe, like, you know, the live show is definitely a reason why we all go to festivals, you know, like, you know, we as an artist, like we can bring something crazy to the stage, you know, we can do that kind of dynamics where we can feel what the crowd likes and what the crowd don't like, and we can just change it on the spot, you know. Whereas with a live stream, we're just looking at the camera, it doesn't tell us happy or sad. Yeah, we can see the views, but like, you know, doesn't feel the same, you know.
Totally understand. Are you guys having fun? What? Can't hear you.
Yeah, so I guess like, yeah, the trend would be live stream, still a little faction of it, but not a full faction, you know. It's not going to swing that fully at all.
Probably like a split, like, yeah, online will still be there, but then like if there's an opportunity, I guess people would want to be a part of the event more, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
What about as a record label? What do you think?
The thing I can see over here in Belgium, everything is back. So we have the festivals again. We have clubs opening at 1st of October, but you need to be vaccinated. You need to have a COVID safe ticket, or you cannot enter at all. They're really severe about it. Streaming of DJ sets and artists never worked over here.
Right. I totally understand. It's the vibe. It's the vibe that's important.
People want to see artists live, not on screen.
I know, even though it's hot outside, sweaty and all that, we still want that vibe.
But over here, everything is opening again, so we're happy to be back. Yeah.
I'm just being jealous that you guys are opening up. Okay.
Yeah, no, the government promised us,
to give you guys
I think last week there is a festival that Rob went to, right? I saw the picture. It was crazy.
I just did Reverse in Belgium last weekend, and it was with a capacity of 20,000 people.
What?
Indoor.
Indoor.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
so don't
I'm so
worry about
jealous.
being sweaty, air conditioned.
Wow.
No, the government promised us in Belgium, like, hey, if we got a vaccination degree of 80%, we are opening everything again. So yeah, if they say to the people, yeah, we promise, they must do it, you know. Otherwise, what's the reason that we will get vaccinated? There must be something. So there must be a reason of freedom afterwards. If they keep on locking us down,
you want a party? Vaccine. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, from agency point of view, I'm gonna let Rob go first. What do you think is gonna change the trend of showbiz after COVID?
To be honest, I think it's gonna turn back to normal. I just saw it last week at Reverse. It felt normal again.
Right.
But business-wise, the promoters of festivals, they don't want to pay the fees as they were before.
Right.
So after COVID, there is a lot of negotiating about.
That's where agency comes in, right? Negotiation.
Exactly.
Hard work for agency.
Yeah, but it's not only the festivals who have been affected, but also the artists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, what about Asia, Gary?
Well, I believe you have a lot of people here in Asia that wants to go out and party. That's for sure. Well, the problem is the governments in Asia are not as responsive as the ones in Europe, for that matter, because here in Asia, I don't know about Thailand, but then in Malaysia here, entertainment is definitely not on the top of the list in terms of where things go back to normal. You see, entertainment is always at the last. I believe in Singapore as well, because though they are opened up right now inside the country, they still have a capacity of maximum capacity of 8 packs, right, Derek? If I'm not wrong, 8 packs of gathering.
Oh, it's 5 because of the rising COVID cases, and all entertainment venues, nightlife, or anywhere that plays live music, be it like instrument or through a sound system that's blasting, it's not allowed.
It was the same over here in Belgium. It was the same. It was the last thing they opened up. It was entertainment venues. So it will come over there too, but maybe it needs to take some time. I don't know. But it was the last thing they opened up now.
Yeah, and the first thing they closed.
Yeah. First to go, last to open. Well,
Exactly.
Where Asia is concerned in terms of COVID, the changes towards the industry would definitely be very obvious. In some countries, you might probably see most clubs closed down, or capacity of clubs are being limited. I know this for sure because in China at the moment, even though life is back to normal, clubs are allowed to operate, but they are operating only at 30% capacity at any one time. You see, you cannot operate more than 30%. And anything above that 30% capacity, you need to get a special permit or special permission for it. So looking at where China is right now, I believe most countries in Asia eventually would fall into that category as well. You know, probably the first 2 years of opening up, maybe till 2024 or even 2025 for the matter, you will see all these indoor venues running at limited capacity, you know, in order to prevent, because like it or not, in the eyes of the government, entertainment is usually the first venue ground where all these outbreaks are going to happen. That's what they think, you see?
Yeah.
So in terms of how the industry is going to perform after COVID, it's still very much at a big question mark at the moment. Yes, there may be a lot of initiatives that is being planned ahead in terms of, there's going to be this festival, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and all those. People are dying to go out, that's for sure, as compared to, you even look at the last 20 months of lockdown around the world, people have turned to digital performing online,
Right.
you know, live streams on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Douyin, TikTok, all this has gone into live broadcasting of people performing.
Yes.
But
that is so true.
from one standpoint, from an audience standpoint, I would say even Tomorrowland is also doing digital festivals. But I believe most of us will not find there's a kick in watching any of
There's
this.
still a difference.
on TV.
There's still
Right.
there's still that gap. Like unless you can put yourself in like that movie surrogate, and then like you can like, you know, create your body and literally go out and experience it. It's probably not.
That's one for sure. But the thing is, you see, watching it at home, watching it in your room, for the matter, it's a very, very big difference as in I'm in the festival itself.
Now,
You see,
true.
because
That is true.
the first thing that is going to be very obvious would be the sound. You know, watching it even with the stereo, with the 5 speaker system or 10 speaker system, it doesn't give you the kick that you find being in the festival itself. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You see? So the other thing is,
also the body pain that you're gonna have on the next day too. You can't experience that digitally.
well, aside from that one, Aki, there is the attention span as well. You see, there is the
Right.
attention span. There is just that much of a time that you're gonna spend watching that small screen of yours, the DJ performing. So
No, that's totally true.
yep. So that's why the trend the trend will still be people will still go out to party as opposed to sitting at home and watching it online. Watching it online is more of like an alternative, you know. If I missed out this party, then okay, I'll stay at home and just watch it. What happened goes through it.
That's
That
but
online thing will not take over the real.
it's a different thing. It's a different
Yes,
thing, I
correct.
guess.
Never.
Yeah, it's well, that's a good point, because that leads to our, oh my God, final session. I thought 90 minutes was going to be long, but then like, oh my God, like, we are literally running out of time. That leads us to the last question of the evolution of showbiz or music, entertainment, business, and all that. So how can music or the artists can evolve into like, do you think like there's like a way they can mix? Sorry, that was my alarm. I was putting on my alarm just to make sure I don't overspeak. But then like, how can music or artists like evolve into other form of like, maybe they can like, collaborate with like a contemporary artist, or like can collaborate with other forms of art? Do you think like something new like that will emerge and all that? You can hop in, anyone. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, we see it sometimes with our DJs. Some of them, they work together with a saxophonist or a drum player, just to give an extra feeling on stage, and it's working. It's working really well over here.
I think, yeah. In terms of that question, Aki, I think this is not something new anymore already, because back in 2015, I've actually brought the DJs who are also musicians themselves. So they are actually playing violin while they are DJing, or they are playing a saxophone while they're DJing. So this is not something new already in terms of mixing contemporary arts with entertainment. I think about 3 years ago in Malaysia, we have events where DJs play while the DJs is playing. We have a spit artist that is actually drawing up something. So I would say this trend is going to start picking up again, because of course it's not going to be on a big scale basis. Big scale basis would definitely have to be something like a violinist, a pianist, or a saxophonist that is accompanying the DJ on the stage, where mass people can take a look, or something slightly smaller scaled, where you have a spit artist or a graffiti artist that is doing something, and then some music accompanying it. So I don't think this is a new trend, but I would say this has been something that has been going around for quite a while already. It's just
it's already happening. The evolution is already there. Okay.
It's not in a big time. It's not happening in a big way, but then it's there. It is there.
Also,
so like you got your dancers, you got your aerialists. Like if it was a 1.5 hour set, and like there was this budget, like if an artist wants to tell a whole story, he can do it, like a good example, like back in the day, Michael Jackson, like he's such an artist, such a performer of that magnitude, can be done nowadays.
I mean, I still watch his stuff until today. I still have DVD.
Right?
I don't have the player though, but then, like
player? Okay, let's do this.
But yeah, I mean, like it's timeless. It's like it's already happening. I couldn't agree more. And also with NFT coming into play in the digital world, people are doing mixed media more, music with arts and music with like so many other stuff. I think a lot more evolution is going to happen. Oh my God, we already have like another 10 minutes-ish left. You know what? I'm just going to dedicate this last 10 minutes to some of the comments I've received. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her or his name right. Kun Kenny Carr says she agrees with DJ Tegwan that I had to do my profile photo shoot, etc. for my promo myself. Took so much of my time and my money. And then like sometimes the DJs in Thailand, like they end up have to have a day job just to pay their bill instead of focusing on making like good stuff. So totally agree on that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
Right. And also, I think this is, she also commented on the part where like, I think this is what Gary said on the opening up. In Thailand, the government plans to open traveling on October, but no sign for nightclubs and any other events as yet. But hope that at least there's going to be like a Halloween or a New Year's Eve event that's possibly going to happen. So that's some of the comment I've read. And then what else do we have? Like, also like Kun Jirawat, this is the question: does the language barrier obstruct the development of the music industry in this era, or what would you seek for, like from the artists, like specifically like Thai artists? What do you expect from them? Like how can the artists improve in order to like level themselves up in the industry? Anyone can hop in.
Music wise, it's important that you listen to the international sounds, that you listen what other people bring, what are the trends, and that you evolve with them. And especially if you make your own music, listen to the sound. The sound is really important nowadays. Without a good sound, forget about it.
Yeah. And
so leveling up the quality, right? Okay,
yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
You just have to speak the language of music.
It's universal.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
While that, having said that, I think there is also a very important point to a lot of new music producers out there. When it comes to music, if you look at the scene around, you go to clubs and all those, what actually makes you remember someone's music? Or some of the artists or the peers that you look up to, what actually make you remember their music? There is a special, unique tune that each one of these artists actually has for themselves, And sometimes when you listen over the radio, when the announcer don't announce who is actually playing this, you immediately know, oh, this is from who and who, so and so. You see? So there is always when you are a producer, you must always understand that you must have your own unique tune. That's one of it. In order to make people like John pick up on you, or to catch the attention of a record label. Because if you are playing something that is just too common, it doesn't carry a lot of weight in terms of how to bring this artist out. You see, so the artist has got to be one.
You need to stand out.
Stand out, yes, exactly.
Yeah, with the signature sound.
It is very competitive because we have. I do know a lot of Asian DJs here. A lot of them are my friends, and a lot of them are music producers. But out of a lot of them, there is only a couple of them that actually got signed up with music labels, and there is always a reason why they get signed up. You see, so the thing is, uniqueness is one part of it. Two, again, there is something that Asians are always very good at. It's called copycat. So this is something that we need to drop if we are going to be a producer.
Yeah.
Or an artist.
Just believe in your own sound and don't try to copy other sounds.
Correct. So it reminds me of like going to school or going to college. There is a test that I do, and then I don't know how to write the program, so I'll take. I see my friend that has this nice part, so I use this nice part as the opening. I use the other part as the center. I use the other part as the ending, and it end up my program looks awesome. But then when the teacher looks at it, hey, I see three other persons. Program here is not. So it goes the same.
Totally understand. So I guess language in terms of like, I don't think you need to be perfect, but to a level of able to communicate. And then I think in terms of music, you just have to brush up your sound, your personality, your attitude or your vibe. You have to like find that, brush that. At the end of the day, we're talking about music. Like, sure, I mean, like if you come up with English lyrics, if you memorize that, that's great. But then like your sound and the music you create, that's you, that's your personality. it's not something you can memorize. It just like
Guys.
has to come from inside.
Do you know how many tracks are released nowadays every day?
God, I don't want to know. I'm so scared.
Oh my God! Here comes the numbers, Mr. Label guy in the building.
No. How many? How many do you think?
It's more than a million, man.
No, each day.
Maybe like
Okay,
80,000.
please.
70,000
Yeah.
new tracks are released every day. 70K. So how many spots does a normal radio station has to
Wow.
to fill every week? How many?
Definitely not enough. Definitely not
No.
enough.
Three spots
Half a
every
million.
week. Three
Oh my
spots they
God.
have to fill with new tracks every week. So if you see how many tracks are released, yeah, you need to stand out. You need to be something special.
Wow, that kind of put everything in perspective. Like you
80,000
need to
is
stand out.
God.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Okay, one quick question, John. Now,
yeah.
what if they do the music genre, okay, but then it's not in the universal language, which means it's not in English. You know, it could be something else. It could be in Chinese, it could be in Thai, given the vast culture of Asia. You know, it could probably be some songs that is localized to their language. Would this still be a big issue in terms of the international market picking it up?
No,
Because I believe
look at Gangnam Style. It's Korean. It was a smash hit worldwide, you know, but it's all about the gimmick and the extras. Yeah.
Again, it's about the unique tune, you know, like Gangnam Style. Of course, when you talk about Oppa Gangnam Style, there is always that one chorus that everyone can remember, you know.
Oh, that part, right? Everyone can sing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or even now, like Blackpink, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now we're bringing up all the K-pops, right?
Like
they
you don't
do
even
know.
understand. Like,
They do know
I
how to make a
personally
catchy tune. I agree.
No, because I personally believe even the international artists are actually looking a lot into the culture here in Asia. You have people like Steve Aoki that is doing a lot of tracks with a lot of K-pop artists these days. You see?
Right.
So
That is so
I would
true.
say that the world is trying to get to know Asia, but the problem with Asia is they are trying to copy the world. So unless we can come up with something unique of our own, on our own, we won't be able to stand out.
That is so true. So I hope those advice helped. Hopefully this can be like something you can adapt in your works. Like, okay, we are approaching the last question right here. I think it's from William. So he's asked a few questions, so feel free to answer any of it. So during the lockdown, nobody went out and discovered more music style. I believe that in times, people are not going to choose one style, but also like try like all over new styles. And do you agree, or do you think that the audience still gonna want to hear clubs and festival in one style, or are they ready to explore more? That's one question. Also, like there is now like a gap in techno, hard, club style of electronic dance music. This will come back fully, or is that a broken tendons? Like tendons? Okay. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I mean, like music now, you don't need to buy records. You don't need to buy vinyls or CDs or cassette tapes. You know, it's all digital. Like, you know, and Spotify works on such a fact, like, you know, your release radar is based on your algorithms on what you listened to prior. So I guess if you were saying that, I mean, like it gives people like how much they want to go and find new music. You know, like as an artist, I believe like, you know, like a producer should be able to play at least a few genres or produce a few genres, you know. But
Sure.
still stay unique.
I would say music style from my perspective is there is always a circle. It goes back to, you see, we progress from where we are, starting off with the 60s, 70s, 80s R&B, hip hop, rap, trap, dubstep. Then we went into the big room style, EDM stuff, and then that's where psytrance, techno comes after, dubstep, hardstyle, where we're supposed to be right now. If without COVID, we're supposed to be at hardstyle, but unfortunately, thanks to COVID, everything got resetted back to zero. So if you go to some countries like China, for instance, they are back to playing R&B, hip hop. R&B, hip hop bounce. Yes.
Yeah.
China bounce.
China bounce.
Wow.
Yeah,
Not bounce, not K bounce, it's C bounce. They take Chinese pop song and they kind of tune it into a bounce tune and they start playing it. So it's Chinese EDM now in China. You go to Taiwan, they still play a couple of big rooms, but then they are more into the harder tunes, hard style. And I believe there are some countries here in Asia that goes very, very much into hard style as well. EDM, has not disappeared, but then it is now less obvious already. A lot of new music genres have actually come. I won't say they are new, but a lot of underground genres, techno, for instance, psytrance, for instance, hardstyle, for instance, all these are starting to show signs that they are coming up already.
Thank you. Like, you nailed it. He just said like exactly what I thought. Thank you for answering.
In Belgium, we have a speech like it says, "L'histoire se répète." It means history repeats itself. So I see it in the music industry every 4 years.
It comes around.
Something changes. So we start
like fashion.
like Rob, we started with the Thunderdome hardcore series somewhere in the 90s. Then we got house music for 4 years. Then we got happy hardcore. Then after happy hardcore, we have 4 years of house music again. And after the house music, we had the jump style. And then now, after the jump style, we had some house and deep house again, and then we got the EDM. So every 4 years, there is a switch of softer music, harder music. Every 4 years, it's so strange, but it's like that. So
Circle of life.
Because
Totally
every 4 years you got a new generation between 12 and 16. So every 4 years,
right?
yeah, people want to hear something different. Yeah,
And they go back to listen to something old and like, oh, this is
because
cool.
the after 4 years there's a new generation, and for the new generation the harder styles are brand new. They discover it again because they never heard about the harder styles.
Right.
Yeah. Right now we have the TikTok generation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
TikTok generation.
So here you go.
In Asia,
Stand in line. She's gonna give it to you.
No. I mean TikTok songs where you can remember only like the 30 seconds of it and you don't know the rest of the song. Like, oh, is this the same song? I did not know that. Like something like that.
Yeah.
in China, they have this called Douyin artists as well.
Douyin, it's
yeah,
the origin
Douyin
of
artists,
TikTok.
We have clubs that are actually inviting Douyin artists to clubs to play.
I totally agree.
There's just way too big in terms of where talents are. The talent pool is unlimited.
Yep.
It's basically what is in trend right now. What is going to be in trend. That's very
Right.
important.
So everyone have to make sure your radars up and make sure you have the right connection and you are in the right community for the updates and all that. And I guess that's all for the questions. I mean, like there are comments running into the comment section, but then we're out of time. We're actually over by 7 minutes, but then you know what? It was a very productive session. Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you so much, John, and thank you so much, Rob, for being here. I think everyone got so much information out of this, and hopefully the artists who are listening can somehow get to connect with you guys one day after they have brushed up their
For
music
sure.
and all that. And we meet again in the light. What am I talking about? But anyways, thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna do a closing for this session. It's gonna be in Thai. So first of all, thanks so much. Sawadika. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you, guys. โอเคค่ะ แล้วนั่นก็เป็นเซสชั่นนะคะของเรานะคะจบลงแล้วนะคะ Showbiz 101 นั่นเองนะคะวันนี้ต้องขอขอบคุณนะคะแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านนะคะที่เข้าร่วมนะคะเซสชั่นของเราวันนี้นะคะก็ขอปิดงานอย่างเป็นทางการเลยแล้วกันนะคะแคปต้องขอขอบคุณทุกท่านอีกครั้งนะคะที่เข้าร่วมกิจกรรมในวันนี้นะคะขอขอบพระคุณนะคะผู้สนับสนุนนะคะ CAPT Fest 2021 นะคะสำนักงานส่งเสริมเศรษฐกิจสร้างสรรค์นะคะองค์การมหาชนหรือว่า CEA นะคะและก็สำนักงานเสริมการจัดประชุมและนิทรรศการองค์การมหาชนนะคะหรือ TCEP นั่นเองนะคะแล้วก็มีเดียพาร์ทเนอร์ของเรานะคะ happymango.co นะคะ Festival People Connected และ The Show Hopper ด้วยนะคะสำหรับช่วงนี้นะคะขอเน้นย้ำนิดนึงว่าอย่าลืมช่วยกันกรอกแบบสอบถามนะคะเพื่อให้ทางเรานะคะสามารถออกแบบนิทรรศการนะคะเพื่อพัฒนาวงการศิลปะร่วมสมัยในประเทศไทยให้ดีขึ้นนะคะและก็สำหรับวันนี้นะคะจะทิ้งท้ายด้วยข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมนะคะสำหรับเซสชันอื่นนะคะว่าเรายังมีนะคะเซสชันที่น่าสนใจนะคะที่จะจัดขึ้นนะคะอย่างแรกเลยนะคะ Entrepreneur Toolkits นะคะอันนี้จะเป็น25แล้วก็26ก็คือพรุ่งนี้แล้วนะคะ25-26นะคะ13 นาฬิกาเป็นต้นไปนะคะถึง13 นาฬิกาถึง 16 นาฬิกานะคะอันนี้คือ Entrepreneur นะคะ25-26นะคะอีกส่วนหนึ่งจะเป็น Arts at our fingertips นะคะ Online Art Appreciation Part 2 นั่นเองนะคะอันนี้จะจัดขึ้นวันที่26นะคะเดือนนี้นะคะเดือนกันยายนนี้นะคะตั้งแต่ 14 นาฬิกาถึง 16 นาฬิกานั่นเองนะคะเอาละค่ะแล้วก็ใครอยากรู้ว่ามีสปีกเกอร์ท่านไหนบ้างนะคะก็สามารถไปหาข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมได้นะคะเรามีทั้ง Facebook นะคะแล้วก็ Instagram นะคะพร้อมข้อมูลนะคะให้ทุกท่านได้เข้าไปเช็คเพื่อmake sure นะคะว่าเราเข้าเซสชันที่ถูกต้องเวลาที่ถูกต้องนะคะสำหรับเว็บไซต์นะคะก็จะเป็น www.capthailand นะคะ CAPT แล้วก็ THAILAND นะคะ .com นะคะ Facebook แล้วก็ Instagram ก็จะเป็น CAPT Thailand เหมือนกันนะคะ CAPT THAILAND นั่นเองนะคะเอาละค่ะแล้วก็ขอเน้นย้ำนะคะในเรื่องของแบบสอบถามนะคะใครที่สกรีนแคปเจอร์ตอนเริ่มต้นไปนะคะสามารถนะคะเรามี QR code ให้นะคะสามารถแคปเจอร์ QR code ตรงนั้นนะคะแล้วก็กรอกแบบสอบถามนะคะเราอยากรู้ฟีดแบ็กค่ะเราอยากมีค่ะขึ้นมาแล้วนะคะเราอยากรู้ฟีดแบ็กนะคะว่างานของเราเป็นยังไงเราจะทำยังไงเพื่อพัฒนานะคะตรงนี้ให้ได้มากยิ่งขึ้นนะคะยังไงก็เสียงของทุกท่านนะคะจะเป็นแรงผลักดันให้เราทำงานดีๆแบบนี้ไปได้เรื่อยๆนะคะยังไงขอสละเวลาอันมีค่าสักแป๊บหนึ่งนะคะสแกนมีนะคะสแกน QR code ของเรานะคะแล้วก็ขอฟีดแบ็กนะคะแล้วก็รบกวนกรอกแบบสอบถามด้วยนะคะเอาละค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะเราก็คงจะต้องจบเซสชันของเราแต่เพียงเท่านี้นะคะแล้วเราเจอกันใหม่เมื่อมีงานน่าสนใจแบบนี้นะคะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะอากิขอจบลงแต่เพียงเท่านี้นะคะขอบคุณทุกท่านนะคะที่สละเวลามีค่าเข้าร่วมสัมมนาในครั้งนี้ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ